Hello everyone and welcome back to another video from Cinnamon Connect. Today we're having a look at a game called Rocket Arena that was posted in the Discord. Remember that if you want to have your game reviewed and rated, you can post it in the game links section of our Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you can join it by going to the description and clicking the link. As you can see on screen, this game was released in 2020. It is still being updated as of 2025. It's got 3 players active, 8,000 favourites, 2.2 million visits. And the thumbnail for it in general, it looks pretty cool. I like it. It's very different to all of the thumbnails you get nowadays in Roblox, where they're just very colourful and similar to games like Steal a Brain Rot. Just before we go into our review and our rating, I'm just going to take a minute to talk about our new game jam. So for Halloween, we are doing our second ever game jam. You can join it on itch.io. It's a great opportunity to come up with new ideas or test already existing ideas. You have to read all the rules, join the Discord, do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the more people we get in it, the more funding and the more exciting we can make the next one. So if you haven't joined it and you're into game jams, please go join it. And yeah, starting off with Rocket Arena, I found it really interesting that it was just straight into the game. There was no tutorial, there was no sort of intro or anything like that there. But I guess for this kind of game that you don't really need any of that. I will say it did take me quite a while to sort of get to grips with the game and understand exactly what it was. I went in completely blind. I didn't read anything about it. I didn't really read the description of the game. I saw it in the Discord, I clicked on it, I recorded a couple clips and then played the game. I like going in blind like this because it allows me to give like almost just like a completely clean opinion, an example of like what I think could be improved or giving it a rating and things like that. It means I'm coming in with no experience and being able to have any sort of bias or anything like that. So to start off with 3 things that I liked, I really quite liked the overall design of the game. It's very simple and it reminds me of old school shooters like Quake. I assume it's sort of modeled after that. The second thing I liked about it was that if you went down into the bottom floor of the map, you did have a little like safe area, I guess is what you would call it, and had things like wanted posters and memoriams, and it was just a nice little space that if you wanted to take time away from the action, you could go down there and relax. My third favourite thing about the game was the destruction. I quite liked it. I didn't actually realise what was happening at the start, and then very quickly realised like, oh, you can blow up the bridges and they'll eventually respawn and things like that. I think it really adds to the gameplay and allows you to sort of almost make your own little paths or make your own little area. Like you could block off an entire tower by taking down the bridges yourself, and then that's just your little place until you die. So very well done on the destruction and overall the design of the game. Again, it really reminds me of Quake and I found it quite fun. So going on to 3 things I didn't like about the game. I think that the visual art style is actually pretty unique, but I think if you wanted to make it a bit more sort of out there and get more people playing it, I would maybe update it a little bit, or even just have like different maps. Maybe there are different art styles on different maps. Maybe that's part of your niche. It's not that I dislike the art style entirely. I do quite like it, but I'm coming at it from the perspective of trying to get as many people on to play it as possible. If I joined this, I would assume it's a game that's quite old. Not 5 years old, but like 10 years old. Another thing was the UI. So there is a little arrow on the left that pops out and gives you like a menu with items and stuff and different things you can buy. It took me forever to realize that that was there. Now I am playing on desktop, so it is quite small. Maybe this is optimized for mobile. I would change it so that it's like a slightly bigger button, or maybe it's in like an area where it's much more like it's somewhere people are going to look all the time so that they notice it better. I think that would increase monetization and also just make it easier for people to find it. Now obviously that's being very nitpicky. It's just an arrow that pops out and gives you a menu, but things like that can really change just the overall user experience. Another thing that I think you could do is you could add special weapons, or just more weapons in general. But let's stick with special weapons, right? So if you wanted to do special weapons, you could just place them around the map and they spawn every 5 minutes. Maybe there's like 1, 2 or 3 of them, and every now and again they spawn in similar, think like Halo, like there's weapons in that take a specific amount of time to spawn in, then you can grab it, and then if you die with it, it has to respawn. That kind of special weapon. I've actually just thought of a fourth thing we could do, and it would be, instead of having the tips appear in the like text box at the top where you can type to people, just have them appear on screen, like as GUI. Just have it literally like right in the middle of your screen, and it's like, tip, if you fire a rocket at your feet, it's going to throw you into the air and things like that. Because it took me, again, quite a while, coming in from a fresh perspective, to sort of like think of that, to try that, and to do that. And then once I noticed the tips from the top left, I was essentially better at the game because I had more of the mechanics. Like I knew how to use more of the mechanics. But overall, I'd say it's a pretty fun game. Again, it reminds me of Quake. It reminds me of sort of old school shooters. Quite like it. I think that you could definitely do a lot more with it. There's definitely room to improve with things that I've suggested. Obviously, again, I've said this in other videos, you don't have to take anything I say as gospel. It's just my opinion. You might not like it, or you might really like the feedback, and that is entirely fair. If you don't think it fits your game, no problem. But yeah, no, definitely fun game. Really well done. If I was to give it a rating, I would give it a 6 out of 10. As I said before, definitely room for improvement on a variety of different things, but the fun factor is there, and I could see it being a much better game in like a year's time if you were to continue to work on it. So now to end the video, guys, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff that YouTubers always love to say. It's going to help the channel, it's going to help me grow it, and it means that Cinnamon in general can start pushing out more content like this. Remember, if you want to see your game reviewed or given feedback or rated or anything like that there, put it in the Discord, join the Discord, meet new people, talk Roblox game design. And as well as that, please join the game jam. It's going to be super awesome. I want to see as many submissions as possible, and I want to see as many cool games as possible. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.